Hi, and welcome back to Mad About Cards and Crafts and another Trinity project. Today I am featuring the Glory on the Highest die set. This die set is new to the Trinity Stamps store. I'll have all the products I use linked in the description box below. Here's a look at that die set. As you can see, there is a sentiment at the bottom that is gorgeous. I didn't use it today, but you can be sure that it will show up on a project very soon. Here is the Dainty Scalloped Edge Slimline. I used the frame portion of that. I'm using the Buttercup Blossom stamp and die set because you know I love my florals on a Christmas card. I did take that Dainty Scalloped Edge Slimline, as I indicated, used the two largest pieces to cut a frame. Now I'm going to use this pattern piece of paper. It's 8 by 8 now. I'm going to cut it down to 2 3/4 by 8, and I'm going to back it, use it as a backing for that center portion of that frame that I cut out. Once I finish with that, I'm going to cut out the Glory and the Highest Angel using some Nina Desert Storm cardstock. I will remove the dress and the sleeve, and then I cut it out a second time using some pattern paper. This is kind of like a polka dot pattern, and I'm going to do some inlaying. There's two ways that you could have done this. I could have just removed that frame and I could have glued it directly to the card panel. I didn't know, I didn't have my Buttercup Blossoms stamped out yet, so I wasn't quite sure where on the panel I was going to use it. So I improvised, and I'm going to turn this over in just a moment, and I'm going to inlay it and add some tape to the back of it to hold everything in place. After I finished cutting out that pattern paper, I did use a piece of gold foil cardstock, and I cut out the star as well as the portion of the halo. And then I'm going to come back again, and I'm going to cut out the angel wings only using some gold glitter cardstock. So we have the gold continuity, but we have a lot of sparkle and shine on one of my favorite Christmas images, an angel. I think that this angel is gorgeous. I was so excited when I saw the Trinity Stamps release and I saw that this was part of it. I love snowmen. That's my second favorite, but an angel always makes my heart very, very happy. Here's where I'm going to start adding that tape to the back to make sure that I can keep all those inlaid pieces in place. You see the angel wings cut out to the left. I will add some tape to the back of these angel wings once I poke out all of the tiny pieces that I need to replace. When I do that and I add the tape, I'm just going to overlay the wings on top so it's easy to line up, and then I'm going to kind of poke it through. I am going to say that because it was glitter cardstock, it was a little challenging to see exactly where that die cut was. So I just kind of just poked everywhere that I possibly could, trying to get all the correct pieces out. There are a couple of pieces that I miss. I die cut it again because somehow I lost them. And there's one piece that just is giving me some fits. So off camera, I fiddle around with it and I finally get the itty bitty piece inlaid where it needed to be. It shouldn't have been that tough, but for some reason, that one little piece just it slid underneath the die, and then I lost a piece, and oh my goodness, it was just, you know how that goes when you're crafting. There's always something. So that was the something with this card. As you can see, I am removing all of those pieces. I did have one that kind of stuck in there, so I'm just using my scissors to remove it. And then I have a couple pieces that are popped out already on those wings. So I'm just going to add that tape to the back of this, and then I'll inlay it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified whenever I do upload a video. If you like the video that I've created, please give it a thumbs up. I love to hear your comments. If you like my cards, if there's something in particular that I'm not showing that you would absolutely love to see, let me know down in the comment section below. So here's those two pieces. that I'm inlaying, and here I'm just going to pick up the whole set of wings, and you're going to see that I'm just going to use my reverse tweezers over the top. I have that tape in the back, and I'm just going to punch all of those pieces through. I am going to add some dimension to this, but I chose not to add it to the angel because of all the little paper piecing and everything else. I just decided that I would try to leave well enough alone, because you know, sometimes when you mess with something a little bit too much, that something always ends up getting ruined. And I thought that the angel was really pretty the way that I had completed it. I am going to use some Nina Solar White cardstock. I will cut out the face, the hands, and the feet. And then I did choose to just leave the hair craft. I could have punched that out as well, and I could have added some color to the hair, but I really liked the way that it looked, and so I decided just to keep it as it was. All right, we're almost done right here, and we're going to move along. Here's where I'm going to color in the face, the hands, and the feet. I'm just using an E2 marker. And then I inlay those off camera. I have a piece of blush cardstock. It's cut to 8.5 by 7, and I scored it at the 3.5 inch mark. I'm going to add some glue. I'm trying to figure out, because it cut so beautifully that I couldn't tell which was the back and which was the front, but I did figure it out. This is the back side. I've added some glue. I'm also going to add my inlaid piece over the top of that, and then I'm going to see where it fits and add a little bit more glue around the edges of that mint cardstock, and we're going to center that onto our 3.5 by 8.5 inch card base. I think these colors are so pretty together. I decided to go with the blush because the polka dots, some of the polka dots I should say, in the angel's dress are that blush color, so I thought it went perfectly. Moving along to the Buttercup Blossoms, I am using the largest floral. So there's a slimline floral that's a thinner border type, but this is actually the largest flower in the die set, stamp and die set. So I cut out the image that I wanted to use. I did use the die for that, and then I just inlaid that piece inside after I placed my stamp where I needed it. I did use some antique linen distress ink because I am going to do some no line coloring. As you can see, I did leave most of the coloring out. I just wanted to show you how I colored up the leaf and the flowers. So I did use a G2, a G00, and then a G000. So I went around all of the edges with that G2, and then round the base where the flower met the leaf. That's where my darkest colors went, and where the oh my goodness, I can't think of the name of it, but where the leaf shape is in the center right there, I went ahead and used that G2. I blended it out with a G00. The veins, that's what I was looking for, the veins of the leaves. I blended it out with a G00 and finally a G000. I did the same thing for the flowers. I took the darkest color, which was an R14. I went around the edges. It is going to absorb into that antique linen, which gives you that no line look. I blended it out with a G12, with a R12, and finally I finished it up with an R11. I used a yellow marker in Y2 and Y0 for the centers of my flowers. As you can see, I do have a white gel pen here, and I'm adding just some dots to the center where the seeds would be. I'll flip these over, and I'm going to add 2 pieces of foam tape to the back of this. So 2 pieces to each of these florals, and once I finish with that, we're going to start putting the card together. I did choose to put my sentiment on the inside. I don't know, there's something this year about me not wanting to put a sentiment on the front. I thought that it was just going to distract from the design. Let me know in the description box below. Would you have added a sentiment to the front, or do you think that it looks fine the way that it is? I am going to center that angel. I did put my floral pieces where I wanted them so that I could make sure I got my angel in the right place, because as I said, I didn't pop it up, so once I glue it down, there's no moving it. I have some gold thread from my stash, and I'm going to fiddle with it and kind of wrap it around so that it adds a little bit more interest, and then I'll pop those flowers right on top. I'm going to go catty corner, and once I finish putting the bottom one together, that's going to be my card for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I have just had a really great time designing for Trinity on this special ambassador program. Keep an eye out on the Trinity Stamps Facebook group. There are a lot of Trinity ambassadors that are out there bringing you tons of inspiration with the wonderful products that are available in the Trinity Stamps store. Here's where I'm adding that sentiment. I do have the sentiment from, oh my goodness, it is the Holiday Hangout, which is the stamp set that I used in my previous video, and it does say Happy Holidays. I chose to use a gray ink because I thought the black would be a little bit too stark. And there is my finished card. So you can see the dimension, you can see all the sparkle and shine. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.